Hey fantastic people, welcome back to F1ntastic Gaming. You can see we're here with episode 1 of our F1 2021 My Team career, and I have split episode 1 into 2 parts because it was a pretty crazy race. Episode 1 part 2 will be coming out very soon, but yeah, this is part 1. You can see this straight after practice. We've got a bunch of benefits, such as resource points and development boosts, which is a really great part of this game, and a big acclaim boost, so that's really good. But obviously we're on acclaim level 1 because we've just started our career, and we're about to get into our very first qualifying session of our career, of our F1 2021 My Team career, and I'm so excited for this. But yeah, we're gonna have to really push because I know this is gonna be a tough one. From the qualifying pace program and previous experience, I know this is gonna be really tough. So yeah, but we're gonna try our best. Hopefully we can do well enough. This is a short qualifying session, but if it was a full qualifying session to get into Q2, I'd have to be P15. So P16 is the top end of Q1, and that's where my sights are. That's my goal. I want to at least finish qualifying in P16. But we've gone through the setup, everything's ready, and now we're gonna go out for the first time. And for the first time, we're gonna try and set a lap time in qualifying. So we come out of the pits now. We come out of the garage, and now we are coming down the pit lane. You can see the car looks really nice at night, and I really love this car and I love this circuit. I've been to this race many times. And down into turn 1, you can see we locked up already, and it's kind of awkward with the car right now because it's a new car. Still doesn't have that much downforce, still not that good in terms of aerodynamics and everything. But now we're coming through the final corner, and we're about to start our very first qualifying lap in our My Team career. You can see we activate DRS very quickly, and now across the start line, you can see down to turn 1, there's not much time to lose or gain here. But in turn 1, you can see that we actually hit the apex, but we run wide a little bit. Not bad though, we didn't really lock up that much. Through turn 3, we go over the curb a little too much. That might have lost us a bit of time. This is the section I'm really worried about. This S section is really tricky, and you can see, oh, we hit the curb on turn 6. I think that's turn 7 actually, and we ran wide. Slow it down nicely though for turn 8. Hit the apex though, and not the greatest exit, but I think turn 8 was fairly clean. But now this is the really tough corner. You can see we braked so early, but we still barely hit the apex. Run really wide at the exit. Not the best racing line there, but coming through the final corner now, you can see normally it's slow and fast out, but here you can go fast and fast out because the track widens at the exit. I feel like that was a pretty good run, although I say that we are behind Gasly and Tsunoda. We're 1.1 seconds behind Gasly, not good, and we're behind Aston Martin and Ocon, and oh, we nearly spun. I actually went out for I actually continued going for another lap, but it wasn't working out, and then at the final corner, to cap it all off, we nearly spun there. But yeah, I'm gonna come into the pits now. I'm gonna try and go out on a fresh set of soft tires after this. But you can see we're in P8. We're doing pretty good. We're doing better than the Williams cars and better than the Alfa Romeos. So is our teammate Guan Yu Zhou. He's only 2 positions behind us. You can see we gain around 1.5 tenths through turns 1, 2, and 3. Lost a bit of time at turn 3 though. Rode the curb really heavily there again. Through turn 4, I hit the apex nicely, but I ride the curb a little bit, so I end up going a bit wide. But this is the S section I'm worried about. Hopefully I can do better this time. Nice braking, and I ride the curb below, and I still run wide, but it's still more controlled, and we don't gain time. Actually, we lose time because I had to really slow it down for turn 8. But at the exit of turn 8, we start gaining time again. So you can see this is a very up and down lap through turns 9 and 10. We actually do really well through here. I'm really proud of that. We hit the apex nicely, and we got a mediocre exit. You can see we didn't get the best exit, but it was good enough. We stayed within the track limits through turn 11 now, hitting the apex and staying within track limits. I'm really happy with that. But in terms of timings, we're not doing too well, and oh, we ran wide at turn 12 and we went off track. Still a green sector though. Same at the exit of turn 13. We've gone on track. Now we're losing time. We're in the red delta, and I really want to gain this time back, but I only have the final 2 corners technically. But yeah, you can see through the last corner we actually do well, and I think, have we done well enough to actually gain time? No, I think it's 0.06 seconds behind our PB. That was really close. It was a good lap, but we kind of ended up throwing it away at the end. Now this is our last lap, I think, on the last set of fresh tires. You can see down to turn 1 again, we brake really late. We did lock up a bit, but we still gained 0.16 seconds, nearly 2/10 of a second gain there through the first 3 corners. So we're doing better, but again, we're in the same situation where we struggled in the second sector, and we have to leave it all onto the last corner. You can see I'm giving it everything right here. I feel like I can do better. I feel like I have the potential to do better, and you can see we're up into the green delta. We've gained 1/10 of a second on our time, and we come across the line to finish qualifying. Which position are we gonna finish qualifying in? Let's see. I think that was a really nice last lap. I'm really proud of that, and we really pushed it to the limits. But let's see which position. It's it's P15, I think, P15 or below, because we're not on the leaderboard right now. And yes, it is P15, so we've actually done pretty well. We would have gotten into Q2, but you can see there was, we were 700ths of a second off Esteban Ocon's time. That's gutting, but I think that was still really nice qualifying performance. Our teammate Guan Yu only 2 positions behind, so that's good to see that he's keeping up with me. Post qualifying, we do get a bit of acclaim, most of it coming from our teammate Guan Yu. But yeah, now some pre-race messages from Jeff. Time to put all that preparation to good use. Mind your front wing into turn 1. It's called carbon fiber because you're supposed to keep it on the car. Now smash it all over the circuit. The cringy Jeff puns, they're back. And yeah, to be honest, I miss those. They're very cringy puns. Now we have some tips specifically to do with the circuit. First of all, he talks about turn 10 and a cute left-hander. Yes, it is true that you have to be trail braking and downshifting all the way to the apex. Very difficult, and it's easy to lock up. And he says to ease off the brakes when you start to lock up. That's actually a really good tip, and yeah, it's something I have to deal with every time I go through turn 10. But yeah, heading into our race now. Let's hope we make the most of our debut, and I hope we do well.
It's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Verstappen, Lando Norris and Sainz, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly, Vettel, Stroll, Fernando Alonso and Ocon, Maverick, Raikkonen, and Guan Yu Zhou, and George Russell, Giovinazzi, Latifi, Mazepin, and Mick Schumacher. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Alright, so here we go. We're about to start the race. I'm going for the race strategy first. That's actually a really short stint on the soft tires. I was quite surprised by that. It's just 5 laps. Usually it's around 6 laps or so at least. But you can see that I think the projected tire wear is pretty high because it's the same set we use in qualifying. So I leave it there. But now we're going to go to 5 red lights for the very first race in our F1 2021 My Team career. And it's lights out and away we go. You can see we get a great getaway. Fernando Alonso does not. And you can see Ocon is pulling alongside the Aston Martins. It's 3 wide ahead of us down to turn 1. But we make a huge dive bomb down to turn 1. We make a little bit of contact with Charles Leclerc. We hit the apex nicely and we really just hit the throttle through turn 2, and now we're all over the rear end of Max Verstappen. We're up in the P6 right now. This is so insane. Down to turn 4, I go for the dive bomb. I'm a bit cautious though, and you can see at the exit Verstappen has a superior grip, but what a start. That was absolutely mad. And yeah, we've lost more time to Verstappen ahead, but yeah, that was a crazy start. Unbelievable. We're up in a P6. We gained 9 positions in like in the space of 3 corners. Wow, that is crazy. But now we're in trouble. We've ran wide at turn 10. You can see we really went on the curb. And now Daniel Ricciardo's all over our rear end. He's going to try and go up the inside of turn 11. We're using a lot of overtake mode here. And oh, I ran wide at turn 11 as well. Braked way too late. I probably should have gone back to the racing line. But you can see that it doesn't really affect us because Lando Norris overtook Ricciardo. We must have pushed Ricciardo wide or something. But yeah, oh, through turn 13, we have a horrible lockup. And we actually lost out to Norris, but we're actually back ahead of Norris now using overtake mode. I'm using way too much overtake mode on this opening lap, but yeah, through into the final corner I kind of let him go ahead so that I could swoop around the outside and secure P6 once again. But now down this long main straight it's going to be a problem. You can see there's like a bit of a slipstream train because behind Norris is Ricciardo, and both of them are overtaking me right now. Both the McLarens are ahead of me. Down to turn 1 I make a colossal dive bomb, hitting the apex of turn 1, squeezing Norris to the edge of the track, and you can see we swoop around the outside of turn 2 to retake that position in a beautiful bit of battling. And you can see Ricciardo is trying to re-overtake his teammate now. This is so crazy. You do realize it's lap 2, right? We got a lot more racing left. You can see this is why I had to make a part 2, because it's so crazy so early on in this race. And now the side by side the McLaren drivers, although we run wide at turn 7, it's still fine. Although I say that Ricciardo tries to stick a wheel up the inside into turn 8. Luckily he backs out of it, otherwise there would have been contact. Now down into turns 9 and 10 I'm going nice and slow. I don't want to run wide. I do lock up though, I couldn't really help that. But yeah, I eased off the brakes. I'm wearing out my tires a lot, and the tires situation is not really good right now, but we managed to make a small gap to Ricciardo. Oh, that was an awkward racing line through turn 11, but it was good enough, just about good enough to stay ahead of Ricciardo. You can see coming through turn 12 I can keep the throttle planted pretty much to stick to the racing line. Turn 13, tricky braking zone, especially with worn tires, but we do better this time. We're not making the same mistakes we did on that first lap. But down to the final corner you can see Ricciardo, he's trying to go up the insides, probably using overtake mode. I let him go, but then I switched back him. Oh, but he kind of blocks me off, and now I'm like stuck behind him, and now I have to use slipstream and a lot of ERS to catch up to him. I don't want to overtake him just yet. I overtake him now when I can, so that he doesn't have a chance of re-overtaking me down to turn 1. You can see under braking I'm cautious, but I hit the apex, and I do the same thing that I did to his teammate Lando Norris. Although I'd say that I just let him go through, and I kind of try and switch back him, which kind of fails. But then I have DRS down this second straight, and that helps us into turn 4 to take that position back. Although he's trying to keep it around the outside, and whoa, what's happening? Is that Norris? I think Norris is trying to get us now down to turn 5. That is 6. Sorry, but yeah, he actually made contact with us. The hand of anger went up, and yeah, you can see I squished out Ricciardo, and Norris just slipped through. That was really slick. But yeah, down through turns 5 and 6, you can see we actually made contact, and he tried to stick a wheel up there. It's not gonna work. It's too narrow and too fast, that section. At turn 10 again, I'm not able to get that corner right. You can see that Norris, he has a great run. Whoa, with DRS and ERS probably, he's gone far ahead. I play the long game, and you can see I do a nice switchback. He kind of blocks me off there, but I still managed to do the switchback around the outside of turn number 12. We're side by side into turn 13. This is a great battle, but around the outside of turn 13 we had the really tough line there around the outside. It was difficult, but we nailed the braking, and we did really nice, I think, in that situation. But now we have to defend as much as we can. He sticks a wheel up the inside into the final corner, or turn 14. Now we're coming down the main straight, and you can see that I'm really struggling. Although Norris, he pulls into the pits. I don't know whether that's part of the strategy or he got some damage, but oh my goodness, Leclerc and Ricciardo are just hurtling toward us at such a fast rate. You can see it's 3 wide now down to turn 1. Leclerc gets ahead of us, and so does Ricciardo. Both of them get ahead of us. I try to do a switchback like I did with Norris. It works on Leclerc, but Ricciardo just blocks me off, and now he has DRS. It's so hard to keep up with him. Down to turn 4, make the massive dive bomb. We make contact there, and somehow at the exit of turn 4 I managed to stay ahead. However, I have no idea how that happened. I literally just went for it. We made a bit of contact with Ricciardo even. It was a crazy battle, and I just went for it. You can see into turn 10, I let Leclerc through, and then I switched back him again. It's so difficult to battle these guys, but I'm using literally everything I have in my everything I've got, literally. I'm giving it everything down to turn 11. You can see we dive down the inside, and yeah, I'm using both my defensive skills and my attacking skills here, and I'm pushing to the absolute limit, because this is the thrill of F1, and this is one of the biggest thrills of my team last year. And now there's yellow flags because I think Sebastian Vettel has a puncture. But yeah, I got so focused on my own race, but now there's yellow flags. But back to my own race, because now we're battling with Ricardo again. This is something I experienced last year as well. I keep having to defend and then attack and then regain the position, but this is going to be really difficult because Ricardo's so far ahead, and we make a massive dive bomb. I think we got a little too excited there, braked a little too late, because now we went so wide, we went so deep that Leclerc just slipped through. Although I do have DRS, so does he, but I'm going to use all of my ERS. I'm going to use slipstream, I'm going to use everything. I'm going to do the same thing I did to Ricardo and dive down the inside of turn 4. This time it's more controlled, and we just slip through and we just take the position. You can see that I backed up Ricardo so much that he ended up battling the AlphaTauri for a while, but this is a replay. You can see the Ferrari with a dark red and bright our car, the bright red F1ntastic racing car, going down the inside and taking that position back. You can see with the brakes are on fire and everything, molten hot. And oh whoa, Ricardo goes for the dive bomb down to turn 8. He sticks a wheel up there. These AI are so brave in this game. It's really good to see. But yeah, down to turn 10, I'm really struggling now. My tires are dead. I need to pit. I think this is the lap I'm coming in. Yes, it is. And oh, that was a horrible exit. We nearly spun. A lot of oversteer in the exit there, but we did manage to make a bit of a gap to Ricardo, so we managed to survive that mistake. Coming through turn 11, we actually do pretty well. Turn 12, this is now. You can see running wide because we don't have much grip. Turn 13, braking late as I can. But oh, the horrible exit. We get on the curb. Ricardo again slipping it up the inside into the final corner. I'm using overtake mode. I'm using everything. I go to the outside, do a bit of a switchback, and oh, that was a beautiful switchback. Oh my god, wow, that was a really nice switchback. I'm really happy with that. But now it's time to pit. We gotta get this set off. This set of tires is really worn. And yeah, coming into the pits, you can see. Wait, hold on a second. What are they doing? No, they're replacing the front wing. I didn't even have front wing damage. Why Gasly's gone ahead? Wait, why isn't Ricardo's gone ahead as well, I think. Yeah, no, what is happening? We were supposed to just change tires. That's an 8.8 second pit stop. We lost 6 seconds in that pit stop.
No!
All the hard work has just gone down the drain. Now I'm trying to re-overtake Ricardo. You can see as soon as possible I'm trying to re-overtake him. Again, switchback doesn't work this time though, because he blocked me off, and now he's literally just going ahead. I'm using overtake mode and DRS. I really want to get back ahead of him, and we actually run so wide at turn 4, but I think there's a bit of camber or something, and that helps us go around the outside. But what is this? I mean, look at the replay. I literally had no front wing damage. Why did they replace my front wing? Wait, look, stop here. There's a bit of damage on the front wing, but it doesn't need replacement. It literally doesn't show anything on the MFD. And wait, they replaced his front wing too. What is happening? This has got to be a glitch in the game. Same for the Ferrari. He was, if we go back, you can see the Ferrari. He was in, Leclerc was in the pits for so long. Yeah, no, they changed his front wing as well. I think they didn't change it for Gasly. That he's the one in the AlphaTauri, right? Yeah, they didn't change it for Gasly. He just went ahead. And yeah, what is this? I mean, all three of us have lost out now, especially me. I mean, I was up there on my debut, man, and oh my god, Ricardo, he's going for the move around the outside. We squeeze him out though, but Leclerc slips through. The battling never ends, does it? But you can see down to turn 1, Leclerc runs wide. This happened in our very first video on this game as well. Leclerc runs wide, so Leclerc's out of the equation, but Ricardo isn't. He's chasing us. He's down to turn 11. He goes down the inside. At this rate, I'm never getting back to P6.